to Maddie a little bit earlier ago, and Courtney called her the heart and soul of your team. What is it about Maddie that would make Courtney say something like that?
Well, I mean, it's a true statement. Maddie is the heart and soul of this team. She's a great kid. She's a hard worker and a great leader, and just a great person in general. Has just good morals and just someone that everyone looks up to on the team. And all of that combined was enough for about a month ago. We had conversations about her wanting to get into coaching, and she had an opportunity potentially at another place to coach. And I was like, hey, actually, there's an opportunity here maybe to come on as a volunteer coach. And she decided to stay on our staff for next season and start her coaching career with us. So if it wasn't for all of that stuff, all that combination together, I wouldn't have asked her to join our staff because I want good people around, surrounding us and in our program. And she definitely, knows what we do here and everything, and just is a great leader. So I couldn't let her go.
And she's having a really great season. I know she's your leadoff hitter. What makes her so good at the plate?
And she's got an exceptional eye, exceptional speed. She can hit for power. Even though I know she doesn't hit homers, she can hit it over, pretty much anyone's head. She can drop a bunt. She's just a tough out. She hasn't struck out many times this year. She fights, with everything she has, every at bat, either to produce a walk or, at least to put the ball in play. And, just what makes her a great leadoff hitter and just one of the toughest outs in our conference.
And what do you think about kind of the storyline of, she decided to come back for a fifth season, and now you guys are in regionals in her home state?
When I saw Arizona pop up, that was one of the first things I thought of was like, it's pretty awesome, what the story is going to be for, Maddie to be able to come home to Arizona. Like every little girl's dream, Arizona kid's dream is to play in Hillenbrand Stadium, play for the Wildcats. And I know, the Sun Devils are pretty good up in Tempe, but I think it all starts down here in Tucson for everyone. And that comes from Arizona. And for her to finish her career here in Arizona, or even not, hopefully continue, let's just put it that way, continue her career here and maybe hopefully playing the next weekend, is one of the, biggest, I think it was one of the most special storylines of the whole tournament.
Troy Hutchinson, you're next.
When you saw Maddie, when did it take you time to realize that there was a coach in there? When did you realize that there's a potential head coach someday?
I think this year was when we got back in the fall and everything. I started leaning on her a lot more for a lot of different things on the field. A lot of people don't know this. I do have a full staff of a full-time coach and now a part-time assistant. But starting in August when we got back, I didn't have a part-time assistant. The person that was in that position actually decided to quit over the summer. Her and her husband had a great side gig going on. It was actually, decided to take off with that. And my pitching coach, Carla Shepard, who could not be here with us this weekend, actually got pregnant during COVID, during the quarantine, and then she actually got injured and had surgery just here recently to fix that injury. So I was by myself all fall and the first part of the January when we got back, and trying to run practice. So I was really leaning on Matt and some of the other seniors to really help me out, with some of the logistics during the fall with practices and hitting reps or whatever. And just the leadership qualities I saw in her and her growth from her junior year into the, some of last year and everything, but especially going into this year, the growth I saw in her, I was like, there's a coach in there. There's a passion that, I knew that she had, but it's just grown, and it just, you could see it even more now. And it's when I was, when she told me that she was thinking about getting into coaching, it was a no-brainer thing for me to try to keep her on staff.
And then looking at Coppersmith's ERA, she seems to be phenomenal this season. But what makes her such a good pitcher? How would you describe her style of pitching?
Well, I think the thing about Courtney is that, I tell people all the time, what she, it's who she is. She wants to compete and win at everything in life, whether it's in school, whether it's like on the mound, whether it's taking, shagging balls in the outfield. She's diving for balls in the outfield. That cringe, be like, Courtney, don't do that. But the kid wants to win at everything, and she works her butt off all the time, wanting extra, wanting to pitch extra, wanting to hit extra, just to, they have the opportunities that we've had here in the last few weeks to win a regular season title and win the conference tournament, to get us back in, a spot like this, to be able to go up against us. And that's what makes her great. And I guess to describe her like as a style for pitching, and she's just a power pitcher. She's at one of the best rise balls in the nation. She's got a good change of speeds, and when she's on, she's just really tough to hit. She can go at you at all different levels, and she's on. She's just one of the best pitchers that I would put her toe to toe with anyone.
Damian Alameda, go ahead.
Chris, how is it that you have been able to transform in just 3 short years, 12 and 31 team to back America East champions?
Well, when I first got here, and I always go back to our first team meeting we had in the locker room at UMBC, and I was looking at all this research when I was getting interviewed for the job and everything, and I just I kept looking at this roster and I was like, there's some talent here. You can see I didn't have to see them personally. I could just see the box scores. They played a lot of close games with a lot of good teams, and I was like, man, there just seems like they're just so close. And I told them from the very beginning, it's like, guys, the biggest thing about us, we're going to, we got to gel together. We're going to build this program into a family, and we're going to have each other's backs. You're going to work your butt off. Okay. We're going to work hard. We're going to have to outwork everybody, but you guys are so close. You guys don't realize how close you are. And at first season in 2019, I think halfway through, we had some wins, we had some bad losses here and there, but we were competing. And they, some of the older kids like Maddie, Sierra Pierce, Julia Keffler, some of the seniors that were on the team and graduated, could tell there was a difference. There was a true bond. They were, seeing more, wins than they had, seeing the growth that the programs had, and they just kept believing. And I think that carried into our conference season, even though we were, got beat up a little bit here and there because they just didn't see what I could see in them just yet. I think the last part of the year, they finally started believing at 100%. And I think that's what carried us through in 2019. And, and I think that's one thing about this, I try to keep teaching them, and getting them to believe, is that I don't care if we're UMBC, I don't care if we're Arizona. We're a Division I team. We're a program that we're going to work our butts off. We're going to have each other's back. We're going to be a family, and we're going to go out there and just compete with anyone. And I don't care who it is. And they bought into that 100%, and I couldn't be prouder of them. And, I just tell them all the time, I'm like, just keep believing, and I'm going along for the ride with it. Just go out there, work your butt off, bring the coaches along with us, and let's just go roll the ball out there and play ball.
And we'll wrap it up with Troy Hutchinson. Go ahead, Troy.
So when we look at your guys' stats, the lawn bomb, you guys only had 15 this year. How would you describe your offensive style, and what do you guys need to do to put some runs on the board?
Well, I think Maddie said it best earlier. We're more of a short game team. It doesn't necessarily mean that we bunt a lot or we try to do a lot of things like that. I mean, we do, but we try to be very aggressive on the bases. We try to make consistent hard contact and just try to move runners around the best we can. And, I think we, said the homers, we do hit a lot of triples. We hit a lot of, we hit more doubles, try to, hit the ball the other way when we have a runner at third, or hit sac flies. We try to do everything we can to keep the defense on their heels, be aggressive, steal bases. And then like somebody asked me the other day, like, are you going to be scared to run against U of A? I'm like, no. I mean, they still got to throw us out. They got to still, Maddie or Julie or whoever's on first base. So I'm going to give them the steal sign. If the situation calls for it and the right count's there, I'm going to tell them to go. And if they throw us out, they throw us out. They sail into the right center, they sail in the center. That's just who we are as an offense and as a team. And we're going to scrap and claw and do everything we can to put runs on the board.
All right, Coach.